Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a tier 9 game in my Neustrashimy, going over the matchmaking threats to my ship, the enemy Enterprise. Looks like radar threats, Seattle Donskoy Chapiev, and it's a 1DD match with just the enemy Fletcher. So, it's been a while since I've had a 1DD match. Basically, pick a flank and go, especially on Two Brothers, where the map is very, pick a flank, and that's sort of where you're gonna be throughout the battle. Not a lot that you can do if you pick a good flank or not, and that leads to the overall lesson here. There was a good question on my Discord this week about what do you do as a destroyer player where you just have an enemy team that's just wanting to run away from you all game, and gonna try to address that situation with this game, because that's kind of how my flank plays out. Now, I do like that my CV player is taking his strike to the opposing flank, and that will help shore up some of the lack of vision that my team's going to have on ACAP. So rather than just not having any vision and trying to rely on the New Orleans and Baltimore to spot, the CV is going to pick up and carry quite a bit of that load. So that is a really good effort on the part of the CV player to counteract that. Now, my team, they're not playing around here. They're pushing up, and they're just about getting to cap even before I can. I'm gonna try to ping this Donskoy because he's getting a little too deep. We still don't know everything down here. I'm using my speed boost early to push up here and try to get some spotting. And I'm looking right now, just getting an idea of what's going on here. I already know there's no DD in front of me, so I'm approaching pretty aggressive into the cap. I've got a Jean Bart right behind me, and I'm really just pushing up. I'm just trying to skirt the Donskoy radar range while I try to maintain spotting on targets down in here. And right about here, you start to get a feel already for how this is gonna play out on the enemy team. The Synop is already bailing. The Algerie's bailing. The Donskoy's already lost a third of his HP and under fire. He's running. The only ship that's sort of making a stand is the Iowa right here, and I expect him to slow down and start reversing and trying to bow tank, because that seems to be what random battleships do most games. So I already am starting to see a flank that's just gonna want to run all game. So like I said in my Discord, identify that situation early on and then just push in there and get as aggressive as possible. Up till this point right here, I've been kind of skirting the Donskoy radar, and now I'm just going to sail into it as I'm just about ready to get the cap. The idea being to drop some torps on this Iowa and start getting some damage done on this, because eventually what I want to do, I want to shove in between the Iowa and the Synop and see if I can't split this portion of the enemy team from my team, or from their teammates. If you look, my team is getting ready for a solid push right now. When you see your ships clumping up like that, they're all bow pointed in a direction, they're getting ready to move hard in that direction. So being out here scouting in front of them, that's going to help their push. Putting my torpedoes out on the Iowa, Now the Donskoy makes a mistake, turns in front of the island. This Donskoy is not going to have any way to turn out if he gets shot at. So those torpedoes are dual purpose. They might actually catch the Donskoy. I'm circling back just to get a little bit further from the Donskoy's radar. Switching to AP. My plan here, I'm going to try to shoot at the Donskoy to kind of freeze him in place and try to give those torpedoes enough time to basically hit him. And you know, my Soyuz was able to put him down, and I'm just going to shift target to the Sinop, torpedo on the Iowa with a flooding. Iowa's repaired. So what I want to do at this point, I'm going to push around this island and try to get some damage out on the Iowa, see if I can get some follow-up fires. Iowa pops up, I know he's shot. Got a fire on the Sinop, just gonna switch my guns back over to the Iowa. Now I'm waiting for the Iowa to shoot again because I'm just gonna smoke up here. Now, I missed this. The last time that I saw the Seattle, he was, you know, kiting more south, and he is shooting at me. But I did not anticipate him pushing into to radar. And honestly, I'm a little target focused right here. I'm fixated on the Iowa, trying to get this follow-up fire, try to get this guy put down. And my teammates got a fire on him, and there's the radar. Now this is actually going to be interesting. I'm going to slow this down because there's something that I need to examine here about dispersion, and that is the first volley that I shoot at this Seattle. It was basically something like 6.8, 6.6 kilometers, something like that, and he's pretty much flat broadside to me. I take the shot, and all of my shots splash short. So I really want to take a look and see, was it bad aim, or is this this is a current question on the forum right now. So gonna take a look right now and see what's going on. So popping out of my smoke. Okay, so 6.7, slowing it down. Switching to AP. Yeah, that's a little rough. That I don't know, that looked kind of questionable to me. Anyway, in another DD, this would have been catastrophic. I'm in the cockroach though, so this is a minor inconvenience. And my team's push, they basically bailed me out of a jam here, and they were able to put down the Seattle. And I mean, even as rough as that situation was, my next repair, I should be able to recover more than half of my HP whenever I trigger it. With the basically the potential for this ship is to cover 8,500 HP each repair. Now saturation, stuff like that is a factor, but in general you can recover a lot of HP on this ship. Working on the Helena, He just repaired a fire, so any sort of follow-up damage I get on him is gonna be in my favor. We're getting pushed by the Chapiev here, so I'm gonna have to pull my focus off the Helena here shortly. Got a second fire on the Helena. Just gonna switch targets to the Chapiev. Just gonna pop my repair right here, since I know I'm taking damage. Chapiev's kiting away. So I'm just gonna disengage. This isn't a trade that's in my favor. And at this point, take a look around. Everything is pretty much kited away from me. This Algerie, he's isolated. He's going to go down shortly. And at that point, the CV's obviously already bailed. The Chapiev's bailing. The Sinop's still running. The Colorado's running. Where do you go to be useful? I mean, you know, a DD picking a fight with a Chapiev, probably not the best option unless you're a Kaba. So I'm going, hey, easy buddy. I'm basically going to push in and just cut right through the gap and try to get in front of the enemy push. And that's where I can be most effective. 1 second, I'm grabbing a tablet. Oh, never mind. Snack time was over. So I'm going to use what's left of my speed boost as soon as the Chapiev gets done shooting at me. Algerie's down. And I'm taking a look right now, seeing, you know, what's going on. Now, the interesting thing is, it's pretty much the enemy is confronted with the same issue on their flank. Yes, I'll get you your tablet, baby. One for each. Keeps the wars to a minimum. So, my plan is, I know the Fletcher just stepped on the cap. I'm going to push right through the channel. And the enemy basically is in a situation, they're down a lot of ships. They're going to have to start playing aggressive or they're going to lose this game. And what I'm counting on is this Fletcher he's thinking the same thing that I'm doing. He's not really going to want to push into a Baltimore. His guns just aren't going to do much to that Baltimore. So I'm thinking that once he's capped B, and you can tell with his map position, he's looking to shoot the center channel. So my plan is I'm going to go right up the center channel and try to cut all this push off. The Lion, the Colorado, the Tirpitz, and get into a position where I can get some additional damage out on these guys. Now this leads to a pretty good discussion on ambushing a DD with Torps. That was a bit of a misplay right there. I forgot to turn my AA off. I know that if this Fletcher is coming this way, slow it down a bit here so I can explain it. It's a tight channel, and when you're torping a DD, the DD that basically gets his broadside to cover the bow of the enemy DD has the initiative and has the advantage. So my plan is I'm going to push up here and start my turn. Even before this Fletcher spotted, I'm counting on this guy's capped this point. He's already sailing my way. You're going to see my... here we go. You see the turn. I'm just now detected, but I've already started turning. Take a look. My torpedo arcs are like right here. His are here and here. He has to move so much more to try to torp me, then I need to move to torp him. So speed this up just a little bit. Still gonna do it in slow-mo to break it down because I see this done wrong all the time. I'm looking at him, and you can see he started to turn slightly this way. The first set of torpedoes is to lock him in this position. The second set of torpedoes is to kill him if these don't do the job. Now also note what I'm doing with my ship, where I'm turning away. And as I'm turning away, it's doing two things. It's limiting his ability to get good torpedoes on me. I just now entered his torpedo arcs. And as I turn away, I'm creating distance. The distance will make the his torpedo dispersion larger. And I'm also presenting the narrowest profile of my ship to the torpedoes, meaning I'm less likely to eat, you know, multiple torpedoes. And basically he needs to get that lucky one torpedo hit. So he didn't get a set of torpedoes off. I don't know if they were on reload or what, but you know, that's a decent kill right now. Now, unfortunately, right now with that turn, it takes me out of position to, you know, quickly follow up here. So I'm reversing as quick as I can. I was kind of hoping that I might be able to shoot over this island, but it's not gonna happen. So I just got to keep reversing. And unfortunately, Neustrashimy is a bit of a fat boat, and she takes a little bit of time to get turned around and get going again. But I'm going to push out here and see what I can do to secure some damage and try to end this with a decent amount of damage. Now, I'm not really that interested in capping B-cap. More interested in having time to do damage. Missed out on the damage there, but going right for the turpets. Another thing I want to look at here, I don't get an island warning that I heard when I played this, when I run aground here. Now I'm going slow. Okay, you just couldn't hear it with the shells. Okay, I heard the alarm briefly, so it is there. It's just the shells were basically covering it up. I basically smoke up there to avoid any damage since I'm kind of blocked in there. And just, you know, just continuing working my guns. I'm trying to let myself get spotted here. Try to get myself reset so I don't actually cap this, but it's not gonna happen. Get another fire on him, and this game's gonna end here shortly on points. So again, this was another game that was just a good example of you know, what do you do when you've just got your flank. There's no damage. There's just very limited options for you to be productive. And the easiest answer to that is you're DD. You're fast. You can get around the map. Go somewhere else and be productive. So I hope you guys enjoyed the game. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will talk to you later.